What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're diving into a super fun, super fantastic deck. It's a Keruga Million Swarm Deck, or a Keruga Million Scute deck. I haven't really decided on the name yet, but it's we're playing Keruga, the big old dinosaur hippo, alongside with a fan favorite, Scute Swarm. And you're saying, Chance, why does this matter? You know what I'm saying? If you remember correctly, when you go to copy Scute Swarms, and I mean actually copy them, not this little 1/1 insect token that you see, but actually copy them. If you remember correctly, they are 3 CMC tokens. So, whenever your Keruga enters the battlefield, that's right, you're going to draw a card for every single Scute you have down on the field, which means if you got 10 Scutes, you're drawing 10 cards, which is insane, obviously. Now, what can you do with drawing 10 cards? Oh, not too much, just mill the opponent in one big Keruga splash. And if that's not enough, we also have Thassa in the deck, right? So Keruga comes down, draws you 10 cards or whatever, right? And you mill the opponent for 20, no big deal. And then Thassa re-enters the Keruga, you draw 10 more cards, and then boom. You know, draw 10 more, mill and 20. So, point is here, to get down the Keruga, have as many Scute Swarms as possible. Of course, we have things such as Cultivates to help us along the way. And then, if that drawing wasn't enough, we also have Teferi's Ageless Insight. So it's a little, I won't say it's easier than Thassa, because Thassa is still pretty easy to get down, but it's a different route than Thassa, right? Plays well with Teferi's Tutelage. In case you can't hit your main combo of the Scute Swarms, you can still end up milling your opponent just with Keruga, Tutelage, Ageless Insight, Thassa, that whole little combo of just drawing cards over and over again, right? Because as soon as Keruga comes down, just from your Tutelage and Thassa alone, it's already drawing 2 cards, which is milling your opponent 4, plus your initial 1 from, you know, the first card you draw, which is essentially 6 cards a turn, and that's nothing to sneeze at. Now, looking at the rest of the deck, everything we have to play around with. We have Omen of the Sea. This is to help us draw cards, scry, that general stuff, have a 2-mana playable, basically. 3 copies of Thassa's Oracle, and this is really the reason why we're not playing Keruga as, you know, a companion. Because you can mill yourself with this deck. You can very easily mill yourself, and with rogues running around, that certainly doesn't help. So Thassa's Oracle is here to help you stop that from happening, or win you the game, rather, if that is happening. 2 copies of Midnight Clock to help you ramp up. Again, helps you battle with the self-millage or the rogue millage, right? Silundi Vision can help you dive into your deck, find those instants and sorceries you may need, as well as being a land. Teferi's Tutelage, 2 copies, helps you mill the opponent, draws you a card. It also procs your Keruga for additional card draw, so that's nice. Brazen Borrower, we all know it, you either love it or hate it, but you know, sometimes you gotta use it. Neutralize for some counter, Bala Ged Recovery to help you return whatever may have been destroyed from the opponent, you know, whether it's an Ageless Insight or whatever. Cultivate to help you ramp up, as well as proc those good old Scute Swarms. Llanowar Visionary, again, helps proc the Keruga, helps ramp you, gives you a body on the board, draws you a card. What's not to love, alright? Scute Swarm we've talked about extensively, plus we should all know about now. Thassa helps you re-enter the Keruga, helps you re-enter the Llanowar, helps you re-enter the Thassa's Oracle, right? So a lot of targets here. Teferi's Ageless Insight, obviously good benefits there. Keruga is going to help you draw tons. Shark Typhoon, because you do have a lot of non-creatures in the deck. You can also cycle it, draw cards, which helps you with, well, getting to the combo you want. Helps you with the Tutelage, good with Teferi's Ageless Insight. And, you know, creating a flying shark at instant speed is never a bad thing, am I right? Anyways, moving us down, we have 2 copies. I was like, 3 sounds a little much. 2 copies of Kogla, the Titan Ape. What's not to love about this Kong reference, am I right? It's a 7/6. Whenever it enters the battlefield, immediately gets to fight something, one of the things that you don't control, one of your opponent's stuff. Whenever it attacks, it gets to destroy a target artifact or enchantment. You know, with Great Henge and Embercleaves and Teferi's Ageless Insights running around. It's a good ability to have. The 2-mana bounce human, we don't really get to use in this deck. We don't have any humans, not a big deal. It's still a 7/6 for 6 mana that gets to fight something and destroy stuff. So, obviously, you can use Thassa on it to have it re-enter, and then fight stuff again and again and again, which is also very nice. Moving us down, we have 1 copy of Turntimber. This is just, you know, late game, you don't happen to have anything, helps you not draw a dud, essentially. Also, it can help you get to your Keruga, I guess. That, you know, there you go. Great Henge, because we are drawing so many cards already. We have the Keruga, which is a big 5/4, right? We have the Koglas, so this stuff is gonna, you know, we're gonna get to this. We're already trying to ramp up in our lands, so I have no fears of us not being able to get to the mana to cast Great Henge, if that makes sense. And then we have plenty of creatures and drawing cards. Again, ties back in with Tutelage and helping us get to our combo. So all in all, this is a very fun deck as far as being competitively sound or whatever. You know, you could probably make it a little bit more so if you take out the mill and go more like Keruga control, but you know, that's a deck that we have built for a later date. So thanks everybody for watching us in this deck tech breakdown. Hope you've enjoyed. If so, please be sure to leave a like down below, comment in the comment section, subscribe, which is most important if you're new here, and hit that bell icon because it makes me happy, makes YouTube happy, and trust me, it'll make you happy with these daily videos. Anyways, thanks everybody, and let's dive into this Keruga madness. Isaka? I don't know. We're gonna keep this in. We'll see how it goes. We have the temple, so we can get the scry off the bat. Thassa. Oh, that is the dream team with Keruga, and all we need to hit is an additional land. We have the Thassa's Oracle coming down, so you know, I think this is a very realistic ask here, right? For us to want to land. Ooh, a land and a Scute Swarm. Well, it's really hard to decide upon, but of course I have to keep the land. Scute Swarm's the goal that we're going for, but without the land, we'll never make it. You're not gonna make it. They really just used 2 shocks on the Thassa's Oracle. Sometimes I'm so bewildered by the actions of people in Magic. It's so strange. I'm not even, let me clarify that. I'm not upset that they used 2 shocks on my Thassa's Oracle. That's fantastic for me, right? That's just nothing but value. That's 2 shocks that didn't, you know, 1 shock could have taken out Brazen later, 1 shock could have taken out Llanowar, and then all they would have had to deal with is a 1/3, right? Which they have in Ashaya, so boom, dealt with. Seems a little silly. But, you know, hey, I can be a little silly sometimes too, so who am I to judge, right? So I want to keep 2 mana from you to bounce you, which means I think I'm going for this. This is actually a really good game for us to showcase this deck. I really hope the opponent doesn't concede. As bad as it sounds, we're discarding this. We've all seen Great Henge. We know what it does. It's no surprise. It's no like ooh ah. You know, it's Great Henge. So let's not worry about it. Let's do what we came here to do. Keruga Thassa Millage. Milliage. Oh, it's a land. That's so good. Alright. We gotta resolve it. Silly me, you can't bounce a Shia. I actually can't bounce any creatures now. That's so good. Man, I'm loving that. Painful for me, obviously. But that's really good. It's a really good little side feature to a Shia that I'm sure not many people would have thought of. Did they hardcast that, or is that more land coming down? More land? Well, alrighty. The setup is real, huh? So if I go ahead and jam down Keruga, I definitely won't have mana for Neutralize, but we don't have mana for Neutralize plus anything else anyways. I could go Thassa and bounce the Oracle. Kind of like the idea of that. Thassa's almost turned on line. No attacks. Bounce this. This is going to be the least amount of damage that we have to face off against, I think. So there's the Scute Swarm. Oh. Oh. Alright, give it to me. This is not going to end well. Edgewall Innkeeper. Beanstalk Arena. Give it to me. Just give it to me. Okay. So if I flash down Brazen, Thassa comes online. I just don't think that's good enough. I think we got to play Keruga. Let's draw some cards. Let's find something else. It's not anything we really needed. How much are we going to mill him here? 4? Another land? Sure. And another land. Shark Typhoon. That actually could work. That could work. Okay, so we blocked their 2 big creatures, one with Thassa and one with Thassa's Oracle, right? Hard cast Shark Typhoon. But we don't have any non-creatures to play thereafter. Wow, this is so incredibly infuriating. Because we only have 6 mana, which means even if I play the land, we don't have enough for the Brazen. Okay, so block. This also makes it to where Thassa won't turn online next turn, us giving up the Oracle. How many cards? They have 23. So if Keruga enters, it draws us 2, which mills them 8. If I play Teferi's Ageless Insight, we draw 6, which mills them 12. Puts them to 11. So if I was to play this, play land, you know, this is the best shot we're going to have at it, and this is the full combo, so let's do it. Full blown. Let's see it. No attacks. Bounce the Keruga. Let's see how much we can mill with the Keruga, Scute Swarm, Teferi, Tutelage, Teferi's Ageless Insight combo. Because I think we might have them here. Maybe. Let's see how many procs we got. Come on, add up a little faster. They have 23 cards, which means I'm going to need 12. I got 10! No! Oh no, we got so close. We're gonna discard 7 cards, ladies and gents. That one. That one. That one. I don't know at this point. Alright. I think it's over, but we had fun, you know. We dealt the combo there in the end. We almost got them all the way down. That was good, but I think they have too much damage here, realistically. Oh, they did just draw themselves that last card there, huh? Alright. So we go block, 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 death. What's crazy is we actually almost still lived, right? Oh, whew. Well, that was a good one. That was a good game. I feel like I faced you before, Jaeger, because it's like Jaeger, the drink, but it's completely spelled wrong. We're gonna take the mulligan here. We don't even have 3 lands. That's so unkeepable. We'll keep this. We have enough. I feel like I really want the Midnight Clock, but it's hard to give up a Llanowar Visionary Scute Swarm, right? So essentially, Llanowar and Midnight are the same thing, but Midnight Clock takes a little while in order to draw us cards. Granted, it does draw us more cards. I'm gonna stick with the Llanowar. Ooh, Temple of Mystery means I don't even have to play down our Bala yet. Keruga? Well, I mean, that's the goal, so yeah, let's keep it. Keep Keruga. Next turn, we might actually still play down Bala tapped. Right, and this way, next turn we can play down untapped, get down Llanowar. Turn after that, untapped Keruga. Could be pretty good. Opponent's playing rogues. Yeah, that's why I go to normal play queue, basically. So I can see the most annoying ranked decks. That's fine. I didn't want those lands anyways. Genuinely, I wanted to draw something else, so I do appreciate that. Let's see if our Llanowar can stick. Hey, it hits. I don't know if it sticks, but you know, we get to draw the card nonetheless. If the opponent ever resolves. There we go. Kogla. Kogla's a fun one. 1, it's a funny name. 2, it's a great reference. 3, it's pretty sick art, right? Instead of having helicopters flying all around, it's got what, big hot air balloons, or they look pretty much like hot air balloons. We'll consider them that. So they're using the 1 black mana for a Thieves Guild, and they used it on their turn. That's so aggro. So aggro. Alright, so do we go for the big boy Keruga knowing that they are holding what seems to be counter magic? Or do we just go for the Scute Swarm and, you know, do the Keruga combo? I say we try for the Keruga combo. Let's get the Scute Swarm down. I know it was a mistake to play the land first, but, you know, sometimes you realize post decision making. That's okay. One thing that I gave y'all this pro tip, and I need to do it as well. I need to start taking my hand off the mouse. You know, just pull back from the trigger, Chance. Heartless Act taking out the Scute Swarm. You know, things happen. Thankfully, the opponent, for the most part, just milling us lands here. Oh, Cultivate. That one hurts a little bit, given what we just lost, but that's okay. You know what? Let's just jam a Keruga. Let's draw some cards, shall we? Draw a card. I guess I should clarify that. And we will go ahead and throw you down tap. Silundi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we do have enough for Kogla, which is nice because it enters and it can fight the Soaring, of course. We have Brazen, which means we could potentially bounce some stuff. Of course, you got to be careful with bouncing stuff when it's a Rogue's deck. Another Soaring. Yeah, that's stuff that happens. If they go to attack with Thieves Guild, we most certainly block. They don't. They're just leaving it there to defend, I guess. To look pretty, so to speak. You know, one thing that they aren't expecting, actually, is we do have... we got Thassa's Oracle in the deck, so if they get unlucky / we get lucky, it could be over sooner rather than later. Let's go for the Kogla. Let's take you out to the ball game. What? Let's see if Keruga can take out that Thieves Guild. I'd be more than happy to make that trade. Yeah, I got another one in hand, so let's go. Alright. Next turn. Alright, sure. I mean, that's worth it to me, in my opinion. It is very worth. Ooh, you know what we could do? We could always flash down the Brazen without ever... That's a really good idea, actually. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to use Cultivate here. Draw some land Arena, because lands are cool, from what I hear. That's what all the cool kids use, are the lands. Anyways, we're going to get in with the Llanowar Visionary, because we don't really need it for the mana. I don't plan on bouncing anything of theirs. I just plan on flashing down the Brazen. Of course, I guess it's a little arrogant to tap your mana and say, no, I will not use this, right? Because see, now we could probably have used it. Bounce their 1 Soaring, and then bring other one down. Well, we could still do it. We could still bounce that Soaring, and they can't replay it, but the other one will get in damage. Another Thieves Guild. Boy howdy, I'm loving this. How many Thassa's Oracle do we have in the graveyard? 1? Okay. So we still got a chance. Oh. 2, 3. We still have 1 more. Still have 1 more. Nope, still have 1 more, I think. Alright, take that guy out. Thassa's interesting. We can play Thassa and Keruga, draw a few cards. Alright, well, I mean, you know, I've had worse decisions in my future for sure, so... Or in my past, my future. I'll have worse decisions in my future, I suppose that's how that goes, huh? Alright, next. End le turn. Keruga. Draw me some more cards, baby. Neutralize. Ooh, if only we had the mana. That's okay. I guess I should have used Fabled before we drew those cards, just as just in case. That's okay. As long as we can live through this turn, I feel like we're in good position now. I'm actually surprised that we've lived this long. Oh no, we have 9 cards left. Maybe not. I forgot we were also not helping them. So, do I actually have 4 copies of Thassa's Oracle? Also, 1, 2, 3. Okay. It's a hard decision. So I would need to find it before they mill it. Keruga's not going to be able to find it until end of turn because we can't proc Thassa until end of turn. It's a little interesting. Let's go ahead and use the Omen. Scry 2, draw a card. No Oracle. We got to send both those to the bottom. Another Omen. Hey, that could work. Let's see. Turns Thassa online. Not that that does too much. Llanowar, Shark Typhoon. I'm just kind of hoping we actually have 4 copies of Thassa's Oracle. I know I built the deck, but y'all know me. It's hard to remember. So we know what those 2 are. So we actually just need to scry 2. No, because if I do that, I gotta draw. I'll have to cycle draw and hope that this is it. Do we have 4 copies? Well, that's not it. All right, well, let's scry and see if this last card is it, or was I fooling myself? Yeah, I was fooling myself. All right, GG. We only have 3 Thassa's Oracles in the deck. Yeah. This is interesting because we have the setup for the combo, right? The Scute Swarms and the Tutelage, which means if we were to hit the Keruga and the Thassa, you know, there we go. Or a Cultivate even, like Keruga, Cultivate. It's a little bit of a lengthy combo, I'll admit, but it certainly is a fun one. Okay, I'm enjoying all these like super aggro decks. That's what I love to see when I'm playing Keruga. Hey, there's Thassa's Oracle. That's actually a body to block with, so I think we do that over Omen and hope that it sticks. Thassa, I like the Cultivate. We were just speaking about how we needed one. We got it, you know? Let's get down these Scute Swarms. Let's Cultivate. Heliod, you hate to see that. You really hate to see that. But hey, we held them at bay, so let's go Scute Swarm. Hey, we're not going to attack. Next turn, we play Scute Swarm. We probably go ahead and drop the Bala as a land, unless we draw into another land, but like... Oh, they didn't attack again. Hallelujah. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the game. This is the one where we do it. So this is, of course, just going to create 2 little 1/1 insects. Not going to copy the Scute Swarms quite yet. That's okay. Still no attacks. We're building the board. We're building bodies. I guess our biggest fear here is that they have a mall and they send their stuff into the sky, right? But they just played that castle and immediately tapped for it, which means they had 0 intention. So what we should do here is Cultivate and then play Fabled, right? Or am I wrong? What is this? 6 or more. So yeah, we should Cultivate and then play Fabled. All right, so let's grab a little bit more green and blue mana. Green comes down. Scute Swarms activate. And Fabled. Fabled. I just don't want them to scoop, but I can understand if they do. Does that make sense? Okay. Shocker, 420. Wow, you just going super hyphy with your name, huh? Alright, let's keep it. We got 2 Scute Swarms and Cultivate, Neutralize, all that good stuff. I would love to keep you Thassa, but I'm looking for a land at this point. We got 1 tap, or you know, 1 tap that is monocolored. The two temples I don't mind so much. Scry is always good. Fabled's really nice with the Scute Swarms. Midnight Clock is land, sorta. It's not land as far as Scute Swarm is concerned, but it is mana as far as I'm concerned. So, you know. Silundi comes down, and we'll leave the Neutralize alone. We could always cycle it, but oh man, I think the opponent's playing a Doom Foretold deck, and I feel very heavily like I may be about to regret some decisions. So let's think this out rationally. I can go ahead and cultivate and put ourselves closer to the Scute Swarm Dream, which I'm not gonna lie is very tempting. Alright, I'm definitely using cultivate. On this turn. I got to thinking about next turn and then turn after that, and I don't need to worry about all that right now. I'm definitely using Cultivate on this turn. It was either Cultivate or Midnight Clock. I really didn't want to use the Fabled since we're in this weird position with the Scute Swarms, so Doom Foretold. Yeah. So I think I want to bounce this. That way, come back their turn, Doom Foretold gets sacrificed, right? If I play this down, then I'm essentially given a whole turn just to make sure that they don't gain 2 life, make me discard and draw a card. That's fine, actually. I don't really want to play this Fabled Passage down, knowing that I have 2 Scute Swarms, but at the same time we have the Kogla, and so that's hard to be like, well, I'm gonna have mana for Kogla next turn. No. So we got rid of the Doom Foretold, cost us a Brazen and a turn. Is it worth it? Hey, maybe. I don't know. I guess we could have just discarded, gave them the life, taken the damage, and given them the card draw and creature. Right? I don't know. We did give them extra card draw with the golden egg. Of course, it cost them 2 more mana, but 2 draw 1's not, you know, the end of the world, so to speak. Elspeth's Nightmare. Gonna give them a little look-see into our hand on the next turn. Little bitty look-see. What do they get to take? Non-creature, non-land. So our Neutralize, right? Or our Midnight Clock. I could play Midnight Clock and play a Scute Swarm. If I do that, I definitely want to go Scute Swarm, tap Fabled, Midnight Clock. Could also tap Enter Kogla, but they don't have a creature for me to fight, which means Kogla wouldn't get to attack until after it was too late for Elspeth. So let them know that we're thinking. Alright, Scute Swarm go for sure. And this has to happen. So we have plenty of blue mana. I'm actually going to grab an additional green here. We got 2 Scutes down. I think we go for the Midnight Clock. If they take my Neutralize, they take my Neutralize, but I'm not going to be able to counter anything with it regardless. The best thing I can do is cycle it. So we play Midnight Clock. They get to see our hands, but you know, the only thing they can take is the Neutralize, so we're essentially discarding that. Get to keep our creatures. They do get knowledge, which, don't get me wrong, it's a powerful, powerful thing, both in IRL, in the real world, and on Magic, you know. Knowledge is power. Power is knowledge. Another, you know, it happens. You never like to see the same card back to back to back to back to back. But sure. That's a strange one. Mr. Grinch. Alright, so we go Scooterino. Scoot. Cultivate. And of course this will allow us to make a lot of Scutes. Well, a lot in relativity, right? Hope they don't have any board wipe, of course. But aside from that, yeah, getting in the damage. They don't have anything they can take. They can exile my graveyard all day. Doesn't matter to me currently. Now, once we can get that Kogla down, we could potentially destroy their Banishing Light, get the Midnight Clock back. That could be nice. Shatter the sky. Well, you just shattered my heart. We'll call it a GG because I don't really want to play with you anymore. Not gonna lie, Doom Foretold's not one of those decks that I'm like, ooh, this is what's gonna happen next. We all know what's gonna happen next. You just basically make me saw my own limbs off, and that's, well, dude, that's no fun for anybody. Nobody watching wants to see that, right? So we'll keep going until we find a decent game, we'll say, you know? It's sad that half of Magic nowadays is just like, how do I make the opponent concede quickly? Like, what spells can I drop to where they're like, I don't want to play this game anymore? Because that's essentially what Rogues is. That's what Doom Foretold is. That's what You're in Control is. Like, what, mono red, right? If we could have some, like, long, drawn-out... Of course, I guess when the game was long drawn-out, it wasn't received very well. Anyways, Foxglove of Love, we'll keep. It's a very risky, very spicy sort of hand, but I think we're going for the Fabled off the bat as well. And then Turntimber and then Forest. Hateful. There's no need to be so hateful. We are going to go ahead and grab some blue mana here. As well, we don't have any in hand, and you never know when you might want some. Let's enter this tapped. We're going to take the damage that the Hateful wants to give. I'm a little worried with them playing Hateful. I feel like they have removal, so I almost want to go for the Cultivate instead of the Llanowar. It's like, I play Llanowar, we draw a card, but that ramp essentially doesn't happen, so I pay 3 mana to draw a card, and to draw them a card, right? This way, I might can drop Teferi's Ageless Insight, and if we can get off to a decent draw, then I think we can win. But things like that certainly don't help us. Let's see, we're at 5 mana now, so we do need 1 more turn of Stallage until we can get to the Kogla, and Kogla can fight Hateful. Now, of course, they still have the 1 mana from Alslid to protect Hateful. I feel like I have to go Llanowar here. It's either that or Cultivate, but Llanowar gives us a body on the board and the potential to use Shark Typhoon, draw a card. Sentinel's Oz, okay. Just making it a little bit bigger. It is big enough to deal with Kogla now. That's about what I expected. About what I expected. Alright, we're going to take 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Take the 6. Can't take out their Hateful because of the Alslid. Right? Need a Brazen? Nope. Need a Brazen? No? Okay. Need a Brazen. Okay. What you got for me, Silundi? Well, if that doesn't sum up my luck and magic, I don't know what does. Holy cow. Hey, Mr. Shady. Hope you're having a nice one. Things are certainly going for us here today. I like when I use Cultivates in a deck, and I actually use the Cultivates, and I still get flooded. It's like, I don't even need these spells. Silly chance, I had the perfect land draws already. Alrighty. Going to watch your live while doing chemistry homework. Nice. Chemistry was one of the sciences I actually liked. Anatomy, not so much. Biology has its interesting parts, but a I like chemistry because it's not mostly, but it has math, and I prefer math. So, anyways, Jeff, not to be confused with MTG Jeff. This is just regular Jeff, the first Jeff, if you will, not Hooglin, not MTG of the variety, just Jeff. 2 Fabled Passages and an island. This could be okay if we can get one more untapped for the Scute Swarm. If not, I feel like I might have to sacrifice the speed of the Omen of the Sea for. Although I could also just play Omen of the Sea and hope we see another. See what I did there? Hope we see some untap. And I think that's what we're gonna do. 2 Teferi's Ageless Insight. Well, that's the maximum number that I have in the deck. So cool. If we have to discard, I think I know what I'm discarding. Anyways, we got Thassa, which could be interesting if we can get to the Keruga, because we're actually, you know, this is one of the setups. You got the multiple draws off the Keruga entering the battlefield. You have Thassa re-entering the Keruga into the battlefield, and you have the Scute Swarms, which are constantly going to be. Don't hit the my turn button chance. Almost did it. So many people would have been so very angry. There's the Thassa's Oracle. I know we needed it before, but now what we need more than ever is just an untapped land, honestly. So. Hey! I was like, you kidding me, game? I'll take the tap land over no land, but it was very heartbreaking. But we got there, we found it. So Scute Swarm, come on down. We're gonna try and save the Fableds for a little bit if we can. Well, we're gonna have to use one almost immediately, right, for the Ageless Insight, because I want to get that down. But opponent's playing Wave Break Hippocamp, and I gotta say, that's a card you don't see enough of. So whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, draw a card. It's a card I've tried to make several times. It has very cool creature type. It's a horse fish, so it's kind of like a seahorse, but in dolphin form, right? Like a Clydesdale horsefish. I don't know. Really cool art, really cool ability, really hard to make it effective, actually. 3 mana for a 2/2 that is so very easily removed in nowadays meta, you know. I think where the wave break got broken for the most part is having 2 health. You can't survive realistically in Magic with just 2 health, you know. So we actually get lucky, and I don't have to play the Fabled. Well, lucky. I draw into another land. The reason I do air quotes is because we've drawn 10 cards. 7 of those have been lands. So I don't know how lucky that actually is, but whatever, you know. We can always cycle the Triome, and that does draw us 2 cards instead of 1, thanks to the Aegis Insight. So that is, you know, a little bit of bankage. Next round we play, well, we may just have to play a Fabled Passage. I don't love it, but yeah. Couldn't just remove it, so we could potentially use Bala Ged Recovery in the future. Gotta exile it. That's fine. Spell Eater Wolverine, the good old 3/2 double trigger. That's fun. That's a fun one. For them, of course, not so much for me. So I want to get to that Shark Typhoon. Like, I'd like to actually just hard cast it. But if I were to cycle it, how big of a creature can we get? Cost 2, we get a 3/3, which deals with the wave break, and then we block the 1/1 to the Spell Eater. I mean, it's not a horrible idea, really, right? Of course, I want to get Thassa down at some point, but right now she doesn't come online, right? We need one more blue source down, which if Shark Typhoon could wait until next turn, sure, but well, I mean, we could realistically block. You know what? We're passing to their turn. It doesn't matter. We're not making this decision right now, right? So no need in holding up Jeff here. That's actually one thing that I feel like a lot of newer, or it's not necessarily newer players. We'll say nowadays, I don't want to call people inconsiderate either, but y'all know what I'm saying. Like, one mistake people playing Magic do, I feel like, is you're thinking too far into your next turn on your turn, and you know, maybe you should be courteous and let your opponent go. In normal play queue, if you're in ranked, you're signing up for, you know, X amount of time. So if I just slam down Shark Typhoon next turn, we're not going to have anything to defend against this. So I think we need to go ahead and Shark Typhoon here. I would love to to be able to jam it down. But if we jam it down, then we're just hard casting it and we get nothing back. Now they may immediately remove, right? They got the Scorching. They got the Scorching. That's hard break. Neither of those draws were what we wanted either. That's fun to say the least. So 15, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alrighty, out of the top 15 cards, we've drawn 10 lands. You know, it is spicy when when we draw normal land draws, but that was 10 lands out of the top 15 cards, and so we're right back to having fun with Magic. Am I right? I actually don't get to go a single day now without being severely flooded. Should have seen the game before this also. I used the Silundi Vision. It was funny. It was how many cards does Silundi look at? I think it looks at 5. It was 4 lands and one enchantment. It was fun. Not to mention the amount of lands that I already had down in the game, right?